The rain-slicked streets of Manhattan gleamed under the sodium lamps like veins pulsing with the city's unspoken secrets. And in that downpour, Alex collapsed against the cold brick wall of the alley, his chest heaving not from the sprint, but from the shatter of his world. "You're mine to keep," Jordan had whispered just hours ago, his voice a velvet trap in the penthouse glow. But now those words curdled into poison as Alex clutched the crumpled photo, Jordan's arm slung possessively around him at that gala, his smile a billboard of conquest. In the flash of lightning, Alex saw it all. He wasn't loved. He was the glittering trophy hoisted high to dazzle the elite, a gay man's facade for a straight world applause. Alex wiped the rain from his eyes, tasting salt that wasn't just from the storm, his heart a battlefield where hope had just surrendered. 28 years old, with ink-stained fingers from late nights sketching dreams in his cramped Brooklyn studio. He'd met Jordan 2 years back at an art opening in Chelsea, those piercing blue eyes cutting through the crowd like a promise. Jordan, 32, all sharp suits and sharper ambition. Heir to a media empire that spanned from glossy magazines to viral scandals, had swept in like a force of nature, whispering, "Your work isn't just beautiful, it's alive." Like you, Alex had believed it. Let the walls around his guarded heart crack open. Because in a city that chewed up dreamers, Jordan felt like shelter. But tonight, at the annual Black Tie fundraiser for progressive causes, code for rich folks patting themselves on the back for allyship, Alex had overheard the whispers in the marble-floored ballroom. Jordan's latest acquisition, a silver-haired investor, had chuckled to his wife, clinking champagne flutes. "That artist boy, perfect arm candy, makes him look so damn enlightened." Alex's stomach had twisted, the room spinning as he pieced it together, the sudden invitations to high society events, the way Jordan paraded him like a rare artifact, the reluctance to ever go public beyond curated photos. It wasn't protection, it was possession, a shield for Jordan's image in a boardroom still laced with homophobic undercurrents. He stumbled out into the night, the gala's laughter echoing like mockery, his black tuxedo, rented, ill-fitting, clinging wetly to his skin. The subway ride back to Brooklyn was a blur of fluorescent lights and juddering tracks, strangers' eyes sliding over him without seeing the fracture lines. By the time he unlocked his apartment door, the dam broke. He sank to the floor amid scattered canvases and half-finished oils, sobbing into his knees, the scent of turpentine mixing with despair. How had he missed the signs, the way Jordan's touches always lingered for the cameras, the hurried goodbyes after private nights turned tender? "I chose to stay," Alex murmured to the empty room, the words a bitter mantra. He'd fought his own doubts, silenced the voice that said a man like Jordan, poised, powerful, with a family legacy demanding perfection, could never truly want someone like him. An openly gay artist scraping by on commissions and caffeine. Dawn crept in gray and unforgiving, painting the loft in shadows that mirrored his soul. Alex dragged himself up, splashing cold water on his face, staring at the mirror's stranger, hollow cheeks, eyes red-rimmed, the faint scar on his jaw from a childhood fall now a reminder of fragility. He thought of his mother back in Ohio, her voice on late-night calls. "Find someone who sees your light. Baby, not just borrows it." She'd raise him alone after his dad bailed, teaching him to paint his pain into something fierce and true. But here, in the heart of America's dream machine, truth felt like a luxury he couldn't afford. His phone buzzed, Jordan's name flashing like a siren's call. "Where are you?" Last night was magic. Come back. Alex's thumb hovered, heart clenching with that traitorous pull. The memory of Jordan's lips on his neck. The way he'd murmur poetry in the dark. No. He typed back, fingers trembling. It's over. I heard them. I'm done being your showpiece. Send. The silence that followed was louder than any storm. Days blurred into a haze of avoidance. Alex buried himself in work. His latest series, an exploration of fractured identities in oil on canvas, taking on new urgency. Each stroke bled his rage and longing onto the surface, lovers entwined in golden light, only for shadows to creep in, devouring the warmth. Friends noticed, of course. Mia, his best friend and fellow artist, cornered him at their favorite coffee spot in Williamsburg. Her dreadlocks tied back, paint flecks on her overalls. Spill it. Alex, you look like you got hit by a truck, over steaming lattes. He confessed, the words tumbling out like a confession in a dimly lit bar. Mia's eyes softened, then flashed with protective fire. That bastard. I always knew he was too smooth. But you're the real deal. Hun, don't let him dim your shine. She pulled him into a hug, her embrace a lifeline, reminding him of the chosen family that had carried him through coming out at 18. The rejections, the quiet nights wondering if love was just a myth for men like him. Yet Jordan wouldn't fade. Bouquets arrived at the studio, roses red as accusations, followed by voicemails laced with charm and desperation. You misunderstood. Babe. They're dinosaurs. I don't care what they think. It's you I want. Alex deleted them all, but doubt not. Late one night, scrolling through old photos, he lingered on one from their first trip to the Hamptons, Jordan's head on his shoulder, waves crashing, no cameras in sight. Was it real, or just another scene in the performance? The confrontation came unbidden. A week later, as Alex sketched in Washington Square Park, the autumn leaves swirling like confetti in the wind. Footsteps crunched gravel, and there he was, Jordan, in a cashmere coat against the chill. Hair windswept, eyes stormy with something that looked like genuine hurt. We need to talk, he said, voice low, sliding onto the bench uninvited. Alex's pencil snapped in his grip. Talk, like how you talk to your investors about your gay awakening over martinis. The words lashed out, sharper than intended, drawing stares from passers-by, a jogger, a street musician tuning his guitar. Jordan flinched, but his jaw set. That's not fair. I brought you into my world because I was proud of us. He reached for Alex's hand, but Alex pulled back, the park's fountain bubbling mockingly in the background. Proud or convenient? The perfect story for your progressive brand. Alex's voice cracked, the vulnerability slipping through. I believed you, Jordan. Every word. I stayed when my gut screamed run, because your sincerity felt like home. Jordan's face crumpled, the executive mask slipping to reveal the boy beneath, raised in Connecticut manners. Expectations crushing any deviation from a script. I was scared too, he admitted, voice barely above the rustle of leaves. My father's empire. It's built on appearances. But with you, it was different. Real. I swear, the air hung heavy, charged with the what-ifs. Alex wanted to believe, to melt into that familiar warmth. But the wound festered. Prove it, he whispered, standing abruptly. Not with words, with actions. And start by letting me go, as Jordan watched him walk away. The park's arch framing Alex like a portal to freedom. The first snowflake of the season drifted down, soft, unyielding, a promise of change. Winter gripped New York like a jealous lover, blanketing the city in white silence that amplified every echo of heartbreak. Alex threw himself into his art with a ferocity that bordered on obsession. His studio a warren of canvases depicting lovers on the precipice, teetering between embrace and abyss. The series caught the eye of a gallery owner in Soho, Elena Vasquez, a no-nonsense Latina in her 40s with a keen eye for raw emotion. "This isn't just pain," she told him over espresso in her sunlit office, surrounded by emerging artists' works. "It's redemption waiting to happen. Let's show it." The exhibit, titled Trophies of the Heart, opened on a frigid December night. The gallery buzzing with critics, collectors, and the curious. Alex stood in a simple black sweater and slacks, his artist's uniform, comfortable yet poised, nervously sipping wine as guests murmured appreciatively. Mia hovered nearby, her sequin dress a burst of color, whispering encouragements. "See, this is you," owning the room. But then the doors swung open, admitting a gust of cold air and Jordan, devastating in a navy wool overcoat, his presence sucking the oxygen from the space. Whispers rippled the media scion, the whispered about couple. Jordan's eyes locked on Alex across the room, a magnetic pull that made knees weaken. He wove through the crowd, ignoring the subtle nods from influencers, until he stood before the central piece, a massive diptych of two men, one reaching, the other receding into shadow. Titles etched below, believed and displayed. "It's breathtaking," Jordan breathed, voice thick. "You captured it." "Us." Alex's pulse thundered, the room fading to a hum. "It's not us. It's what I survived." But his resolve wavered under that gaze, the one that had once made him feel seen. They slipped outside for air, the snow falling thicker now, muffling the city's roar. On the sidewalk, under the gallery's awning, Jordan cupped Alex's face, thumbs brushing away a stray flake. "I'll let you go because you asked. But every day without you is a lie I can't live." His kiss was tentative, then fierce, tasting of regret and renewal. Alex broke it, breathless. "Actions. Remember? Show me you're not performing." Jordan nodded, eyes fierce. "My father's retiring. I'm taking over, but on my terms. No more hiding. I came out publicly today in the Times. My love for Alex redefined me." "Read it." Alex's heart stuttered. The article, pulled up on Jordan's phone in the glow of streetlights, was unsparing. Jordan detailing his journey. The facade cracked, the love real. "You're my truth," it ended. Tears stung. "Why now?" "Because losing you taught me love isn't a prize. It's the fight worth every scar." They stood there, snow-capped, as the world blurred. For the first time, Alex saw not a trophy case, but a partner, flawed, fighting. His. Spring thawed the city slowly, cherry blossoms unfurling along the Hudson like tentative apologies. Alex and Jordan rebuilt, brick by cautious brick. Mornings in Jordan's spacious Tribeca loft, now theirs, began with coffee and quiet confessions. Sunlight slanting across rumpled sheets. Jordan traded boardroom bluster for vulnerability, Attending therapy sessions, Alex recommended. Unpacking the weight of legacy. I was taught love was transaction, he'd say, tracing patterns on Alex's back. You showed me its grace. Alex's exhibits sold out. The proceeds funding a scholarship for queer artists, a quiet revolution. Mia teased him endlessly at brunches. From heartbreak to power couple, you're living the rom-com, but beneath the joy, shadows lingered. Jordan's family loomed. His mother a distant figure of polished disapproval. His father a ghost of expectations. Invitations to holidays arrived, laced with subtext, family time, but code for conformity. The fracture came at Easter. In the sprawling Hamptons estate where Jordan grew up, waves lapping like indifferent witnesses. Alex arrived in chinos and a linen shirt, his portfolio tucked under arm, Jordan's idea. To show them your world. The dinner table gleamed with crystal intention. Jordan's parents at the head, siblings with polished spouses. Conversations skirted edges, politics, markets, the changing times. Then his father, Harlan, leaned in, voice like gravel. Art's a fine hobby, Alexander. But real men build empires. The room stilled. Forks pausing. Alex's blood ran hot, but Jordan's hand under the table squeezed, steady. Dad, Alex builds souls. That's the empire I want. Harlan's laugh was a bark. Souls? In this economy? You're throwing away legacy for. This. The gesture waved dismissively at Alex. At them. Jordan rose, chair scraping. This is my legacy. Loving him. If you can't see that, maybe it's time I forge my own. The walkout was swift. Alex and Jordan bundling into the car, tires spinning gravel as they fled into the night. On the drive back, silence stretched, then shattered. I'm sorry, Jordan said, gripping the wheel. I thought. Time. Alex touched his arm. You stood up. That's the action that matters. Back in the city, they dove deeper. Jordan divested shares in conservative outlets, funneling funds into LGBTQ plus media initiatives. Alex mentored young artists, his story a beacon in workshops. Their love deepened in stolen moments, picnics in Central Park, where Jordan sketched clumsily beside him, lazy Sundays debating philosophy over takeout, nights where bodies spoke what words couldn't, reaffirming the bond. Yet drama shadowed, as a dozen lives rebuilt on fault lines. A tabloid expose hit, leaked emails from Jordan's old team, painting their relationship as PR gold. Protests erupted outside Jordan's office, activists chanting authenticity or appropriation. Alex felt the old doubt creep, nights staring at ceilings, wondering if the world would ever let them just be. The climax unfolded at Pride. The streets a riot of color and cry, rainbow flags whipping in the June heat, bass thumping from floats. Jordan had planned a float for his company, but Alex hesitated. It feels performative again. Jordan pulled him close amid the crowd. Then let's make it ours. No script. They marched hand in hand. Jordan in a simple tee emblazoned with Alex's art. A heart cracked, but mended. Alex beside him, vulnerable in the open. Catcalls mixed with cheers. But when a counter-protester shoved Jordan, spitting slurs, Alex stepped forward, voice steady. Hate doesn't win here. Love does. The scuffle drew cameras, but Jordan diffused it with calm authority, de-escalating as security arrived. Later, atop afloat under confetti rain. Jordan dropped to one knee, not with a ring, but a canvas, their story painted in vibrant strokes. Titled Prizes No More. "Marry me," he said, voice carrying over the roar. "Not as a trophy. As my equal. My everything." Tears blurred the colors. "Yes," Alex breathed, pulling him up into a kiss that silenced the world, their world. Finally claimed. Summer wove them tighter. Engagements whispered in wedding plans that honored their truths. A ceremony in the loft, officiated by Mia. Vows exchanged over canvases and contracts. Jordan's mother attended. Tentative bridge building in her eyes. His father sent a letter. Gruff but thawing. "Build well, son." In the quiet aftermath, Alex reflected on the journey, from alleyway despair to this sunlit certainty. Love, he'd learned, wasn't blind belief, but brave choosing. Day after day. He was no prize, but a partner. Jordan no collector, but a co-creator. As autumn leaves turned again, they stood on that same rooftop, city lights twinkling below like shared secrets. "I believed your sincerity," Alex murmured, hand in hand. "And I proved it," Jordan replied, kissing his temple. In America's vast tapestry, their thread gleamed, human, flawed, enduring.